Welcome to Bamberg, otherwise known as the Venice of Germany, with perhaps a few more breweries than its Italian counterpart. In this episode, I'm going to show you what there is to do in this UNESCO World Heritage town, a place full of history, fresh Franconian food, and of course the famous Rauch beer. Let's get into it. Good morning and welcome to Bamberg. This is my next stop on my German overland adventure, and I'm basically here to see what is interesting about Bamberg. I've got 2 days here before I move on to somewhere else. So the whole theme of this video is what is there to do in Bamberg? First up, I took a walking tour around the old town, making sure to visit both the Bamberg Cathedral and the Neue Residenz buildings. There are so many stunning historical buildings to explore here, and interestingly, most of them are still original. Many nearby cities, such as Nuremberg and Würzburg, were almost completely destroyed during World War II, but Bamberg, fortunately, came out largely unscathed. Now, this city is also known, or part of this city is also known as Little Venice, and I'm going to show you why. So this is the area they call Little Venice, and a lot of these are people's houses. One really nice thing about this town is that it only takes a few minutes walk and you're instantly back into nature. I actually went for a run yesterday and I was only running for about 5 minutes, and then it's gorgeous paths like this, really green, fresh air. And of course irrigated everywhere by water, so that makes it very green. I'm not sure right now. Obviously Venice is more traditionally beautiful, but this is giving it a run for its money in some respects. Interestingly, they had to split the river further up to stop the flooding, so there's now 2 rivers. This is the smaller one. There is a bigger one where they can divert flooding into, and so they don't have the same problems as with the real Venice, and it's also a little bit less crowded. I think I'm now taking this ferry. Thank you. Alright, so it looks like I'm getting this little ferry across the water. Okay, just a quick journey across the river for €1. Nice that they have that feature. And now I'm going to find my way back from here. So it's easy to understand why people make the comparison to Venice, being on the water and looking very pretty, but I think it has more to it than that. The same Prince Bishop that built the Residence Palace in Würzburg from the previous video also gave an option here for people to decorate their houses in the Baroque style. They would be given 20 years of tax relief if they decorated their house and created a new facade outside to make it look Baroque. And that's why it became such a pretty German city. After finishing the walking tour, I found out that Bamberg is also famous for its breweries, so it was time to head to my first one of the day, the Schenkeler Brewery and their famous Rauch beer. So this is the smoked beer from the Schenkeler Brewery. It's so good. It's really smoky, as you'd expect. It tastes like burnt wood. It almost tastes healthy, earthy. I would drink that a lot. Dankeschön. So this is the other thing famous in Bamberg. It is a minced pork stuffed onion coated in beer sauce. Look at that. This is famous for here. You'd expect it to be really heavy, but it's not. It's actually very light. I think the onion works really well. Has a lot of pork. I don't know if I could get anything more Franconian, more Bavarian, more German than such a smoky, dark beer and a stuffed onion full of pork. This meal brings me nicely onto another part of this town's history, and the reason why you have these giant onions. The market gardeners of Bamberg.
The German name, the Bamberg name, then the Latin, and then we have the English name.
Great pumpkin.
Yes.
So this is unique to here? Because I haven't seen pumpkins this big normally.
I always ask who can eat that.
So this is another big part of Bamberg's heritage and history, the market gardeners. If you can see around me, there are walls of houses going all the way around to protect the gardens that were inside the houses. And they would farm here in their rows, creating incredibly fresh vegetables, fresh herbs that are used and sold in the markets here to create Bamberg's cuisine. Obviously they're not used as much anymore. It's more of the mass farming, mass produced veg that you get in supermarkets, but still you can get some really nice fresh veg and fresh food from this. An interesting nickname for people from Bamberg was the onion stompers, because people would come here and be confused or impressed by the way they would stomp the tops of the onions to get it to grow better. And the dish here that I had earlier is one of the famous things from Bamberg, which is made from one of their onions. So another key part to this is you can also buy the vegetables very fresh, straight from the gardens, but specifically here only on a Friday. I don't know, maybe it's just me getting older, but as soon as I came here and saw that fresh market, I was like, oh, I'd love to cook with that. So it smells so good, and just having this like fresh garlic, fresh veg would be really nice to cook with.
Of sorts of onions.
Ah, yeah.
Not only the one you buy in the supermarket. At the moment, the supermarket you get more. You have the red ones, you have the little ones, you have the very big ones, and I think the big ones are these, which they use for the stuffed filled onion.
Yeah, this is what I had earlier. Yeah.
Gemüsezwiebel, sometimes Metzgerzwiebel, no?
So you can see my fist, that is how big they are.
Kannst du mal kurz zeigen?
And now for a completely different note, I headed across town to a newer brewery called the Hopfengarten. We're doing some pretty interesting things with beer. So I've just stopped off at Hopfengarten to try one of their experimental beers. This is a coffee nitro dark beer with vanilla cream on top. And obviously this first beer is going to be a little bit difficult to get into. I think that went well.
The customers come in and we offer, you can pick 1 kilo and you get one cider for free.
Oh, nice.
That's how we bring in the harvest. Chilies, we have about 50 varieties. Chili Staffelbock. 3 days.
So Chris, the owner, just gave me one of these plants and it's completely numbed my mouth. Interesting. This is the harvest, the hop harvest.
We're bringing the plants in and then the people, we can look if you see somebody picking. Freund aus England mitgebracht.
England,
ne?
yeah. England.
Und er würde gern hier für seinen YouTube-Kanal ein kleines Snippet drehen. You can film them also.
Thanks. And what was the deal? Like how much you harvest? You get
1 kilo is 1 cider, half liter beer.
Right, okay. That's cool.
So
and
if you want to come from England,
yeah,
to harvest.
And this is what? This is 1 kilo?
No, not yet.
Not yet.
But it goes really fast at picking for 1 kilo.
I mean, we love beer anyway, but if you tell us we can get free beer by picking the hops and then getting free beer, that is like a dream come true. I mean, if I open this up to England, lots of people are going to come.
I hope so. We have some already here.
Okay, cool.
And last week I had a guest here, and when they were leaving, I asked him if he was satisfied with the beers, and he said he visited a lot of pubs, maybe thousands.
Probably.
But he liked it very, very much. This is one of his favorites, so this was really for me like,
amazing.
Yeah, keep going.
And keep going is what I did. I stayed here for a few hours and tried some of their more individual beers, like the eucalyptus one and the spicy tomato. All great and a perfect way to finish my trip to Bamberg. This really is one of the coolest breweries I've been to. The fact that you can harvest the hops for yourself for one beer or one cider, per 1 kilogram you harvest is a pretty cool idea. That's only in September. That's a festival they do each a year. So if you're interested, then get down for that. Prost. All in all, I'd say Bamberg surprised me. It's a great little German town. It's a piece of Bavaria that I definitely think you should go and check out yourself. There's enough to do here for a few days, and of course, you have to sample the Rauch beer, the onion dish, and everything else that you can in this little slice of Bavaria. So all I can say now is so long Bamberg, and thanks for all the beer. Is this better than the real Venice? I'll let you decide.